Hi. Due to the fact that Google has pretty much changed YouTube in such a way where it's hard to read people's comments and add comments to YouTube without, giving your identity away and stuff like that, which is a death sentence if you expose Islam, I thought I would get back into writing novels and plays and other books. I've got a lot of material for non-fiction books and publish it on Amazon as ebooks. So if you like, you can download it. And I thought I would show you the ones that I have published on Amazon thus far, starting back last year when I put the very first novel. Well, no, when I published my very first book, a novel. I've written a lot of novels, but this was actually the first one I actually published, and it's called Trucker Jihad. And I followed it up with nonfiction books and a novelette that was a science fiction. And this past month, I published a 3-act play called Sniper on the Kaaba, and another science fiction book I just wrote called Call Me Jibril. And I thought I would show these books to you right now. Okay, the very first one I published was, by the way, on all these books I go by the handle of, or the pen name of Ramit Ramsey. Okay, but the very first one, what I did was Trucker Jihad. About it was about a science teacher who is on the run as a truck driver, thinking that the Muslims are hunting him down for exposing Islam on the internet, won't be able to find him, but they do. So anyway, it's called Trucker Jihad, followed by Holding a Mirror Up to Islam, followed by, well, not followed by, but the one I did after that was called The Wrath of Ramadar, but it's not quite in order here, so, well, who cares. But here's another one, The Jihad of Words. And what Jihad of words are, and Hold Up a Mirror to Islam, they are non-fiction books dealing with my talks with Muslims on the internet. Talks and study of Islam on the internet with Muslims. Then I did this one called Of Mice and Sarah Palin, followed by Mutania Wars. And both books are featuring me as Mutania when I was on the Netscape, on the website of Netscape's Propeller, where I would expose Islam. Also, I did this one called Muslims versus Ramit. Yeah, Muslims versus Ramit. And if you look carefully at that book cover, you'll see that it's me behind bars. And I want to tell you, the reason why they put me behind bars is because they didn't like how I was questioning Islam on a website called Mix, which is now defunct. So it's kind of like karma. They kicked me off of Mix after they put me behind bars. They banned me, and then the whole thing collapsed, so their words disappeared with mine. So, yep, that's me behind bars as Ramit. It's called Muslims versus Ramit. And here is the science fiction novelette I was telling you about called The Wrath of Ramadar. It's a science fiction, and if you notice carefully, that giant, here's some buildings, and there's radioactive spray coming out of his mouth like Godzilla. If you can tell that he looks like a giant Muslim, that's not by accident. And then another one I did is called Full Phasers. Full phasers on the Borg cube. Full phasers on the Borg cube, and there's the Borg cube. Yeah, if you can tell that it's not exactly a Borg cube, but it's close. It's actually the Kaaba in Mecca. Then there's another one. It's called Painting the Night with Stars. Both Full Phasers on the Borg cube and Painting the Night with Stars deals with my talking with Muslims and atheists and others on the website called Propeller, which is also defunct. But, you know, I had a feeling that I was going to be banished from Propeller for questioning Islam on the internet, like what happened to me on Mix. So I decided to copy and paste the words into my computer from Mix. I mean, from Propeller, and it was a good thing too, because when it collapsed, everybody's, not just mine, but everybody's words vanished with it. Anyway, then I also not only was questioning Muslims, but I also questioned atheists, which turned into this book called Atheists into the Twilight Zone. And there's the picture. And that's me as an old atheist, even though I'm not an atheist in real life. Atheists into the Twilight Zone. Now this is called Sniper on the Kaaba, Messages from the Edge of Earth. And yes, that is me on a TV screen. And another version of it, but different picture. And another version of it, different picture. This is the Spanish version. This is the French version. This is the Italian version, and this is the German version. And so I have it in different languages. Sniper on the Kaaba. Basically, what Sniper on the Kaaba is, it's a it's like Fiddler on the Roof. But instead of dealing with Jews, it's dealing with Muslims. Because I tell you what Fiddler on the Roof was, it was about Jews dealing with cultural change and the threat that it posed to their traditions. And what happens here is that this is a science fiction, takes place in the future when Islam has taken over the whole world. And something takes place that threatens Islam. And that's why, well, it's a lot like Fiddler on the Roof, but without the song and dance, when it comes down to it. Then another one then I took Trucker Jihad, and I put that into different languages. This is the German version. This is the Italian version. This is the French version. And I'm still working on the Spanish version, which I'll probably publish in a few days. And it's basically about, well, it's Trucker Jihad except in different languages. And I want to tell you something. I don't charge as much as I do for the one in English, because I have a feeling that the ones I put into different languages are not very good. So they're like half price. Yeah, they are half price. Anyway, the latest book I published is called Call Me Jibril. Call Me Jibril, which I published on November 13th, and that's the cover of it. Call Me Jibril. It's a science fiction novelette also about the creator of Islam going back in time to give pointers to Muhammad to make Islam victorious for Allah. Of course, you find out that the being that goes back in time is Allah, or Jibril, to take your pick. But it's one of the reasons why I'm going to be keeping a pen name, because I don't want to be a roommate of Salman Rushdie, if you know what I mean. But anyway, that's it. Call Me Jibril is my latest novel, and I have a lot of other novels I've written, but they're not. Well, I want to tell you something. The software has changed, so a lot of what I've written cannot be. It disappeared. It disappeared because it became obsolete. I can't open those files. You know what I mean? But if I ever find the software to open them, then I'll publish them. But right now, oh well. Those are all these things that are published here are what I wrote over a 2-year period, and they were able to. I was able to download them because they were, you know, new. But the old stuff, oh well. Maybe it's a good thing that I can't publish it. I don't know. Anyway, tonight I'm going to be publishing another book. It's not fiction like Call Call Me Jibril and Trucker Jihad are. It's going to be a nonfiction book, but it's strange. It's called. Well, you know something. If you don't want to, if you don't want to buy the book, and you don't want to read it, you can go to the videos that I produced about that came from it, and it's called The Gospel According to a DVD Burner, and you'll see why if you see those videos. But that's going to be my latest book tonight. And then I will try to work on the Spanish version of Trucker Jihad. And you know something? That's all I have to say for now.